Good evening, everyone, and welcome once again to the place to be on a Sunday night where tonight on Top Split TV, we're bringing you season 25, round 9 of Sunday Night Lights, where we're at Nurburgring for the GP race and we're your home, of course, of 5K softs. Apparently last week, we according to or confirmed with iRacing, strongest skippy race in history. Fantastic effort to both the drivers and the community support. Really appreciate it. Of course, I'm Alex McKellar, and joining me this week, once again, as always, is the chaotic one himself, Mr. Corey Steinhauser. Corey, part of history, mate. How does it feel?
It's quite incredible, Alex. I can't believe we've had the strongest strength of field in all of Skippy history. And it's just an incredible thing that we've achieved here. And hopefully things just keep going on the up and up for us here.
Yeah, absolutely, mate. Really looking forward to having a good run again tonight and seeing where we can get as the drivers are out there for quali this time round. We'll take a look at who's shown up for the I guess still it's another 5K soft this week, so it's a big event. Now we've got Naoya Nagai, the Japanese driver, who is absolutely on fire at the moment. Expect him to do well in quali as usual. His qualification times are unbelievable. Julian O'Fray, current series leader, of course, joins us again. He's car number 2. Christian Perez, who quite frankly has put on two of the most amazing driving displays this season. One at Laguna Seca, one again last week at Mid-Ohio. Amazing drives from Christian Perez. Watch him tonight. Oscar Chinchilla-Maza joins us once again. Great to see the Iberian stalwart there. Benji Raig, there's a fella who's been putting in some hard skippy yards. Great to see him here on a Sunday night. Very strong performer. Good guy too. Giuseppe Tellini, the Italian, one of 3 here tonight. Leading Italian driver here. He's car number 6. Fraser Smith, who forgot to set his alarm, or he got his time wrong with daylight savings or something. Missed the biggest race ever last week. But he's made it here tonight. Gol Kawabe's son. Second of the Japanese drivers here tonight, car number 8. Second of the Italians is Loris Mario, car number 9. And Nick Vaughan Roberts, the Tiffles Racing Welshman, joins us as car number 10, Corey.
As car number 11, the first of 2 Oz and Z contingent, Mr. Corey Lean in the 11 car. The 12th car, we have Vladimir Kiplik from Central Eastern Europe. It's great to see Vladimir back. Kevin Budgun from the UK, and I as the 13-plated car here tonight. From Japan, we have Aoi Okada.
Well played.
I've probably just butchered that a little bit. I apologize, but great to see a new Japanese name out here tonight, Alex. Vasco Swarovski as our second of the 2 Aussie contingent and his army of spotters in the 15-plated car. We got Hiroshi Ueda from Japan as the 16th plated car here tonight. Dimitri Filipides from the Asia Club is the 17th plated car. We've got Lorenzo Zingaretti from Italy as the 18th plated car. Yannick Maral from France as the 19th plated car. Pretty sure that's going to be a new SNL debut there. And Ollie Peacock propping up the field as the 20th plated car from the UK and I Club, Alex.
Yeah, Ollie Peacock. There's a guy who's also really strong in quali. Snuck in as car number 20. He's rolled the dice here tonight and he snuck in. He's about 4K I rating, which is what you need to buy your ticket into the big one. Great to see some other names in there. Kevin Bugden. There's a guy who has been really working hard in the last season or so. And I can tell you, from where I sit, his performances have really been on the up and up. Great to see him in there. Aoi Okada-san, new to the SNL, but one of these Japanese drivers, no doubt, like Ueda, who have been reaping the rewards of the investment that's been made by the Japanese skippy racing community, by the likes of Nagai and Kawabe, who are out there again tonight, who are putting in the hard yards with the community, and it's really starting to show. 4 Japanese drivers as provisionally we see Fraser Smith go to the top of the pops early on, Corey.
Indeed we do, Alex, and Chinchilla, Fraser Smith, and Kiplick at the moment as our top three. Time starting to come in. I'm keeping an eye on Christian Perez here, who's just started his second lap. Going through the first couple of corners. These guys are definitely turning up the temperature here a little bit, Alex. It's only a low 18 at the moment. But you were telling me just before we started the broadcast that you saw someone qualify with a 17.
Yeah, I've got him on screen at the moment now. And a guy in the race before did a 17.8 in quali. Unbelievable. Track temp at the moment is 22. The race temperature of the track in the warm-up race was about 19 degrees. So we may not see that magic 17 in this quali session. However, an 18.8, some 4/10 clear on his first lap. I don't know if he'll grab 8/10 in the second lap, but yeah, my eyes couldn't believe it when I saw him last race. Did a 17.8 in quali, Corey. Unbelievable. But look, there's other folks out there who are pretty handy, not only in quali, but here we got our eyes on Christian Perez. Outstanding racer. So for me, it doesn't really matter where the likes of Perez qualify. He can race the wheels off this little Skippy machine, and looking forward to seeing that again tonight.
That's definitely right, Alex. He's always one of our hard charges if he doesn't finish, if he doesn't qualify too well. And it's always exciting to see him come flying through the field. We know he has the ability to do it, and it's just great to see it. And it looks like the first person coming up to finish off their second lap here is going to be Corey Lean from the Oz and Z Club. Alex, I'm just having a look. Currently down in 14th. Not a great showing so far for him. Let's see what he does when he comes around the final corner and crosses that start-finish line.
Absolutely. Lean on the closing stages of his second lap. I don't know if he's short of a run this week. Seen him do a couple, but jumps up. There you go. P3, if you don't mind, with a 19.3 on his second lap, but there'll be plenty of laps coming in. Fraser Smith drops up ahead of him. Kiplic. There you go, Perez. There we go. That's what we want to see. Perez up near the front. We haven't seen the guy's second lap. Here he comes around the final corner. Young Naoya Nagai, king of quali. What's he done? An 18.3. There you go. Not often you see in a 5K soft someone clear out by essentially 7/10, 6.5 against some of the best in the world. Fantastic qualification effort there from the Japanese driver who we had expected. Ollie Peacock, now I'd give him this. I've got wraps on this guy in quali, but at the moment he hasn't set a time and he's run out of time. So there you go, Corey. He's made a liar of me. Anyway, let's go check our grid. We've got 20 cars to get through, so we'll race through it now. And a guy once again, I think that's 4 from 4 for the Japanese driver in the racing that he's done. 5 from 5 even. Christian Perez joins him on the front row for Faster Arturo Racing. Oscar Chinchilla, the Iberian, he's starts from the second row in P3. Guy Kawabe, there you go, the Japanese driver starting on the second row in P4. Julien O'Fray from France in 5th. Starting from 5th, I should say, Vladimir Kiplic in 6th off the grid here tonight. 7th, Fraser Smith from UK and I. Corey Lean, the leading ANZ driver, out of 8th. Benji Ray, the 3rd Iberian racer, out of 9th. Aoi Okada, he makes his debut and starts from the 5th row of the grid in 10th. Laura Somadio, the leading Italian driver, starts in 11th. Nick Vaughan Roberts, Two Fools Racing, out of 12th. Benji Rag, the Iberian, out of... Oh, hang on. I missed it. 13th, Giuseppe Toletti, the other Italian driver. Hiroshi Ueda, the 4th of the Japanese drivers, in 14th. Kevin Budgen for Nippy Racing, out of 15th. 16th off the grid, Dimitri Filippidis. Vasco Sorowski for Team Clowns, out of 17th. Lorenzo Zingaretti, he's from Italy, he's out of 18th. Yannick Morale makes his debut out of 19th. And 20th off the grid is Ollie Peacock, Ori. As we get ready for this one to commence.
The race starts.
And thank you, Soda. Yes, the race does start. Appreciate the reminder. And the red lights mean rev. And as the lights go out, we are away here for the start of 12 laps at the famous Nurb GP layout. Fantastic. Everyone taking the title line. Defense turning into attack. 3 wide, if you don't mind, into the first corner. Oh, I hear some crunching in the background, but everyone seems to have got through okay. Corey, if you're with me.
Yeah, that looks like they have, Alex, and this section can usually be a little bit difficult, especially that first corner with how hard of a braking zone it is. Still sees a 3 wide in the mid-packs with Corey Lean trying to carve his way up through the field. Oh, and there's contact, and around he goes, Alex. Unfortunately, he's going to be down at the back of the bus for this one.
Yeah, I was trying to grab him as he tumbled through the orders so I could see what was going on. We might grab a replay later if we get a chance. Meanwhile, oh, look at that mid-pack there. They're still 2 wide coming down the hill into the hairpin. Jeepers, they're doing pretty well, but what it is doing is there's a front pack forming and they are dead set looking to get away here if they can. 2, almost 3 wide into the hairpin at the bottom of the hill, led by, I'm going to say, I can't see, led by Kiplich, I think. And look at them streaming behind up the hill, trying to get through the Schumacher S's cleanly. 2x2. I haven't seen this all week, Corey. Nearly 3 wide into the turn 10-11 complex. Oh, are they going to make it? I think they are, but all the while, this is crazy, Corey. Look at them everywhere.
I am definitely watching this one. It's now being led by Okada, as Kiplik is starting to get away from these guys a little bit with their battling. And I say it every single week as they go 3 wide again. The little kink on the back straight there. These guys are the absolute best skippy drivers that we can assemble here on a Sunday night. And they're showing us why we put so much, greatness upon them. And it looks like the chicane has actually caught out a couple of victims there, Alex.
Jeepers, I have never seen anyone spin on the apex of that. Jeepers, let's go check it out, see what we can see. I've seen Okada crash at some point. Oh, we see Swarovski there. What's this? No, that's not it. Peacock, I know, crashed. Let's see what happened here. Peacock's the 20 car in green. Look at the action going around him on the way in. This was never going to work, honestly. They'd spent the whole first lap like this. Peacock into the rear of the 6 car there of, I think it was Amadio. Turns him in the middle of the corner. There's going to be a bunch of drama behind that. Straightens him up. Thanks very much. Swarovski caught up in it, and then it's the white and yellow car, I think, of Okada, the Japanese schoolboy, who's forward on exit too, if you don't mind, who's clipped that apex and gone around, Corey. Anyway, let's get back to live pictures and see what's going on up front. We've left these guys alone, as has the rest of the field, and it's Nagai-san from Perez, perhaps what we expected given the quality and the standard of these two, with Chinchilla, O'Fray and Fraser Smith just dropping off the back of the lead bunch, Corey.
That's right, Alex. I've been watching them while you're checking out the replays there. These guys are all being cool, calm and collected. You can see Nagai-san getting over to the right side of the circuit very quickly there as they start heading into the 11-12 section before the back straight. These guys are just putting on a little bit of a clinic right now. You can see a couple of people jumping out of the draft. These guys are just playing a nice, calm, cool, collected race up here.
Yeah, Frey really just showing that he's no threat at this stage. He's not worried about getting dropped. Although I've got to tell you, if it was me, I'd see the blue and the orange cars in front of me and I'd be worried about getting dropped every single corner. But he's also mindful of trying to drop Fraser Smith, who's in a bit of no man's land. Behind him, you got Kiplich, who is being chased down by this pack of 4 led by Vaughan Roberts of Kawabe, Amadio and Raig, who's in tow as well. Raig's only dropped the 1 spot. And I think it might have been Tolini who got turned earlier on. My apologies, because Amadio's still going okay. He's up 2 spots actually, so miscalled that earlier. My apologies. Now in the background we've got 2 wide, nearly 3. as they try to get themselves sorted through turn one. It's Philippides and Tellini sort of working their way through there. Great to see Swarovski in the background there. Still got a straight Skippy. I don't know how he swallowed that because he was dead set stopped in the middle of the first apex, the chicane there. But he's managed to continue by the looks. Meanwhile, up front, pace is on. And the boys are starting to stretch their legs, Corey.
That's right, they are, Alex. And I was just having a quick little look at Corey Lean there. He's made his way back up to 14th after being completely backwards and sideways and at the back of the pack at start of that first lap. So he's gained 6 positions after spinning, which is definitely no mean feat considering the caliber of build that we've assembled here tonight.
Yeah, it probably had a little bit of help at the final chicane at the end of lap 1, to be fair. But yeah, that bent Skippy wing on the back, probably not hurting him too much at this stage. I'd be more worried if it was the front wing. And I can see a couple of cars behind him. It's 2 behind Swarovski, so it's Zinger. Zingaretti. He's missing the front half of his car by the looks of it, and that's going to hurt him in terms of overall pace too. As it's Morale, who's another debutant, just lets him by. Meanwhile, back up front, it's pretty stations as normal here, as front 4 really letting the guy set the pace. Chinchilla and O'Fray, very cool heads under pressure, looking to just capitalise on the pace of the front 2. Fraser Smith now is actually doing pretty well, and he's not too far out of the draft, Corey, at 1.2 seconds.
Yeah, that's right, Alex. But with the pace of these 4 in front of them, he's definitely going to start losing out very shortly. You can see him weaving around, trying to catch the draft as everyone in front of him is weaving. Now that gap is really starting to extend. And I reckon the reason why no one's tried passing the guy yet is because he qualified 6 tenths faster, or 6.5 tenths faster than everyone else. I don't think anyone has anything for him unless it's a little bit of a drafting battle, Alex.
Potentially. Where I do think the likes of Perez potentially have an edge is in the actual racing. The guy's got blistering pace. I would suggest he's got 1 lap pace on pretty much everyone in this field. But the racing performance that we've seen from Perez in this season in a couple of races has just been beyond question. So these guys are pretty settled here. I don't think we'll see a lot of action here before the final couple of laps. I think it'll get intense where the guys in 3rd and 4th want to start moving forward. And when that occurs, even if Fraser Smith is still around, now he's out to almost... he's still within that 1.2. In fact, he's gained half a tenth on this gap. If he's still around, it'll be a battle in 5, and that'll bring him right back into it. But look in the background. Vladimir Kiplic has been caught by Kawabe, Vaughan Roberts, Amadio and Ray. Now, there's another 5-car battle looming right here in the midfield, Corey. So we're going to see some action without question.
Oh, we definitely will, Alex. These guys are racing right now as much for pride as trying to catch the front group, because they know as a 5-car pack they're going to be pretty solid, but the infighting will happen as everyone's trying to jockey to be the one in front. These guys will all think that they've got the pace on everyone else, which is a byproduct of being in the draft. And Kiplic, not having to draft earlier, wasn't going as fast and having no help. These guys behind him will help him speed up, even though he's the car on front. But we'll see how long he's the car on the front of this little pack for, because I'm assuming that going into turn 1, we're going to see some action out of this pack.
Yeah, and speaking of action, we have seen O'Fray make his move. He's passed 2 cars. Let me go see if I can't grab this on replay. O'Fray he's come up the back straight and he's grabbed 1. And then I think he's going to have another look here. Is he? He's shortly after on the same lap. Yeah, he's gone up the inside of Perez. He's got a better drive somehow. Then he's got 2 for 1 in the space of a couple of corners. And O'Fray suddenly cruising in P2, Corey.
That's great to see. O'Fray is definitely one of my favourite people who comes and races with us week in and week out. And, he's been showing the results this season, which is excellent to see. And speaking of showing results, Kawabe-san moves to the point of this second pack as he got around Kiplik very nicely into turn one, Alex.
Yeah, 100%. And as we see Kiplich lock up the inside coming down the hill there. But look, there's a couple of jokers in this pack for mine. Vaughan Roberts, aggressive racer. Similarly, Amadio. So I expect it to get a bit hotter in this pack as the race progresses. But I want to note again, Fraser Smith now is in draft range of this front pack. We've talked about Nagai's pace. He's only just dipped into the 19s. We're on lap 5 now, and he's only just dipped into the 18s, I should say, rather than the 19s. And Fraser Smith did an 18.8. He was a tenth and a half quicker, and is now dead set in the running for this front pack, Corey.
Indeed he is, Alex, and I don't know where he's finding this pace from. It's baffling me slightly. Maybe a little bit of the accordion effect from the cars ahead. I've also noticed that Chinchilla is just falling off the back of this pack ever so slightly, which could also be helping out Fraser Smith here a little bit.
100%. And of course it does compress there in the braking zone. But yeah, look, Fraser Smith now right well and truly within draft range. This straight will hurt him a little bit, but the corner preceding, if he runs a little bit wide there. So that might hurt him a little bit as we see him really trying to get amongst it. Although he's still pulling in just ever so slightly up the straight. I thought it might hurt him up here as Nagai once again leads them into turn one. Afraid taking a defensive line, not wanting to give up P2 to Perez. Compromises his speed on exit, but Perez really nowhere to go here. Settles in behind. He's smarter than that. And Fred Smith, there you go. 6/10 off the back, and he is back in it, Corey.
That's just absolutely incredible, Alex. Like, he had well and truly lost the draft. He was a second and a half out. And we both know that, the draft here in the Skippies generally only good for about 1.2 seconds. I mean, there could sometimes be a little bit of tailwind that helps you out with it. But, it's an incredible drive to get back up into the pack like that. And what I'm seeing here, Alex, is we've got 2 groups of 5 filling it out for our top 10 positions.
Yeah, that's it, mate. We've got, dare I say, pockets of excitement have broken out across this circuit here tonight. And although the front 5 somewhat more sedate than the others, there's Kiplich now back on the front of the second pack. Vaughan Roberts tries briefly or thought about taking advantage of the lockup from Kawabe as they now run up the hill. Surprising amount of draft up this section through the centre, through the Schumacher S's, I should say, up into turn 10, which is a legit passing opportunity under the right circumstances. Look at these guys, very much nose to tail, grabbing every bit of the apex. Kiplich running wide out of turn 10 through 11 now. The wide exit on turn 10 can actually unsettle the car and cost you some speed if you don't get it right through 11, which of course leads on to a very long straight. And there's got a bit of a bend in it. It is still a flat out section and into what is the final and probably the most intense passing zone on this circuit at the final chicane, Corey.
That's right, Alex. It's also one of the more dangerous passing zones on this circuit. This one and turn 1. Turn 1 for how slow you have to be when taking it, but that final chicane just for the diciness of the moves that you have to make without trying to hit someone else. And me as a slightly inexperienced driver compared to everyone else, it can be one of those challenging things where, you got to try and attack and defend at the same time, Alex.
Absolutely. Speaking of attacking, we've just seen O'Fray make a move for the
second
lead.
Back's been skittled, Alex. Sorry for interrupting.
No, you're good. Yeah, look, let's go take a look at that. We'll grab a bit more. We thought this might be where the action is. And look, Benji Rag, he's coming in hot. He's on the outside there. I don't know if he's clipped anyone or not. See, he's just got a bit of the grass. The rear's got. He's bowling 9 pins or 10 pins. He's got 2 for 1 there. Kawabe's copped a bit of net coat, or has he just let off the brakes and gone through? Raig, unfortunately, in his return to Sunday Night Lights, then Ford Roberts has hit Amadio again by the looks. Tragedy in that second pack, Corey. An unfortunate way to go for them. But back up front, we saw O'Fray make a move and Smith. Smith now taking full advantage of getting back onto this pack, sitting in fourth, Corey, having dispensed for the time being at least with Chinchilla.
That's right, Alex, and Chinchilla. As I noticed before, he's just falling off the back of this pack ever so slightly. It's probably nothing to be concerned about just yet. He can catch it back up with the draft. But I'm starting to think maybe Chinchilla just doesn't quite have the pace of the rest of the guys in front of him here. Maybe, and that could just be down to getting slightly worse exits than everyone else. But the draft is definitely helping him stay afloat here. As looks like we've got to move on for the lead as Nagai taking the inside of a fray. Perez trying to get a part of this as well in the chicane. And they all come out of it all right, but O'Fray's very, very compromised coming out of the chicane, and he's probably going to drop down the fifth behind by the time we get to the start-finish line, Alex.
We just lost Fred Smith's return from a parallel universe, but yeah, look, the deck's well and surely got shuffled there. Nagai 2.0 decides now's the time to make a move, and that we saw Perez go with him, and then that opened the door for Smith to attack O'Fray, who's now returning serve into turn one. And we saw Smith very tight on O'Fray. There's no wheel to wheel. O'Fray runs him wide, but Smith will have the run, and he will have the confidence too to make this battle work for him. Not only because he's got speed here, but also because he knows even if there's a little bit of a gap, that he's got the pace to catch the likes of Nagai and Perez, because he's already done it once, Corey. So he wants to move forward and use some of that pace here.
He definitely does, Alex, but this little battling that he's got going on with O'Fray to open up the gap a little bit to Nagai and Perez, who are pulling away. And Perez, I know that he's a very aggressive driver. He's a very talented driver as well. So it's going to be down to who is going to have the bigger right foot when it comes to those final straightaways, because these guys are going to be battling it out good and hard. There's only about 4.5 laps left to run in this race, Alex. So these guys are already starting to turn up the temperature.
Yeah, 100%. These guys are underway now. Smith did not lose draft here. He's 7.5 tenths, almost 7 tenths behind now as they head up through the Schumacher S's into turn 10, which is a challenging enough section of its own, let alone in a racy pack like this. O'Fray looking the raciest after Smith, I think. Smith has, once he's got here, he said all bets are off. I can catch you blokes if I need to. I'm going to get up there and get up the front. Obviously feeling confident in his pace. O'Fray, however, interesting to see what he does here. Does he consolidate and wait until they're closer? Yes, he does. Perez, and he'll spot Perez going for the overtake here. That'll compromise and compress this field once again. Oh, so close, O'Fray. Lucky not to netcode Smith there. And turn him. O'Fray now looking up the inside of the final corner. Is he? Yes, he is. He's going to push Smith wide on exit and see if he can't grab back that final spot on the podium provisionally, Corey.
That's definitely a very good plan, because you see O'Fray now taking the advantage of the leaders. Trying to just take some slightly alternate lines, so he'll be picking up their draft. And here comes Chinchilla as well. Going to make it 3 wide going into turn 1. That could be dangerous. Chinchilla backs out of it. O'Fray trying not to hit Nagai. Nagai trying to go up the inside of Perez. These guys are battling tooth and nail right now, Alex, and it's great to see.
Smith really squeezed Nagai, gave him a car width and nothing more on the apex of turn 1. Got the drive out and got through, now up to P2. After dead set looking out of it, off the back of this front pack, Smith now on the back of Perez, sitting in P2 with 4.5 laps to go, looking right in his element.
He definitely is, Alex, and these guys are just battling so intensely right now. But what's really good about it is that these guys can battle this hard and they're not making any contact at all. Skippy's been an open wheel car. You know, you've got to be very careful about wheel to wheel contact, because it can send you for quite the wild ride. These guys doing everything they can to make sure that doesn't happen, so they can all try and get the best result here. Something else that I've noticed, Alex, is just looming there in the background. Kiplik and Kawabe have been ever so slightly chipping away at this front pack of 5.
Yeah, the battling really helping them. They were about 4 tenths quicker than the leader last lap. But this is why, look at him, 2 wide, if you don't mind, through 10. Well, they get it sorted. Perez looking to come back at Smith now, who's got it done, and he's in the lead in the strongest race of the week. Great. Oh, well, he slipped in last week. He missed out. Maybe he's trying to double his action here tonight, Corey.
Well, very well might be, Alex. He's got a point to prove since he missed out on the biggest skippy stop in history. Here comes Perez looking for a move up on the inside, makes it stick. Guy was almost going to think about sticking his nose up there as well. I reckon there's going to be a little bit more action coming down into turn 1 as we're coming to 3 laps to go, Alex.
Oh, Frey shows the nose into the final corner. Nagai had a run there into the final chicane. Nowhere to go. Unfortunately, he was all dressed up with no party to show off his threads. But meanwhile, Perez and Smith. Perez, defensive line, no, moves over into the braking zone. Nagai very deep under brakes. O'Fray with a bit of an overlap, has he? No, he'll be sticking behind and maybe trying to get it done into turn 2. Yes, he shows up the inside of the Japanese driver into turn 2. Through the stadium section this time round, it's Nagai side by side with O'Fray. He cedes the corner this time round and shuffled back to 4th. How many times can we shuffle this deck, Corey?
Well, at least a few more times, Alex, because these guys are putting everything into this battle right now, and still Kiplik and Kawabe catching this pack. It's only a few tenths here and there, Alex, but it's just enough that they might find themselves on the back of this pack as we head towards the final lap soon.
Yeah, absolutely. 6th and 7th, Kawabe and Kiplik. Kiplik once again, they were they were in fact a second quicker as O'Fray defends through the hairpin at the bottom of the hill at turn 7 as they now come up the hill into the Schumacher S's once again. Line astern. Looks like Perez feeling a little bit more confident that he won't have to defend here with a 3.5 tenth lead, although there's so much draft up into this turn 10 braking zone. Nagai showing the nose, perhaps more in defence of Chinchilla behind him. Chinchilla really playing the patient game more than anything. We know he's got the speed. He's seeing all this stuff going on around him. Managing his risk is what I call it, Corey. He's just managing his risk at this stage of the race, really. With 2 to go when they cross the line, they're closing in on the final stages of lap 10. As we see now, Fred Smith once again pull out to the inside into the final chicane. Nagai with some big brakes, but pulls out, lets O'Fray go, but will potentially have the run. Can he use it into the final corner and do what O'Fray did to him the previous lap? Not this time round, and is actually coming under threat from Chinchilla, but will potentially get the drive out and have him done to turn 1. Action everywhere, Corey.
Absolutely, Alex, and now there's gaps forming in this front pack. Going 2-1-2 as we head down to turn number 1. Everyone's still in it though because of the draft, and I'm just looking at these 2 cars behind them, Alex. They keep getting bigger and bigger every time the camera sees them. As Fraser Smith holding on to the lead going through turn 1. Perez right behind him. Guys are just putting on an absolutely amazing show right now, Alex, and I'm thoroughly enjoying myself.
Yeah, again, Kiplich managed the same pace or a little bit faster than the leader last time round. Fraser Smith now leading this with 2 laps to go. Once they cross that line, Chinchilla has shuffled Nagai back. He's down 4 positions from his pole sitter start, and the 1 lap pace showing that it's actually the racecraft tonight here that's really winning out potentially, although I don't think Nagai's race is over quite yet. Fraser Smith so far, on the books for the drive of the night, if I'm honest. Was off this front pack, caught him undrafted, and is now leading this race with a lap and a half to go as once again they head up the hill towards turn 10 through the Schumacher S's, or the Schumacher S, and a tightly packed group that they are. O'Fray looking to the outside into the braking zone at 10, and on the inside Mars is going to make it 3 wide as he knows 2 by 2 with O'Fray. O'Fray will have the inside through 11. What will that mean for him at the end of the straight into the braking zone, Corey?
I was going to compromise his entry into that second part of that chicane, Alex, which Means that he's going to have to heavily rely on the draft here to maintain speed and maybe try and make an attack. Speaking of making an attack, here comes Nagai-san trying to make an attack on Chinchilla. And oh, so close to contact with Chinchilla to the back of a fray. These guys have definitely turned up the intensity, Alex.
Yeah, 100% in the background. You can see Kiplich and Kawabe still looking to chase him down. Nagai still relegated and a little bit off the back as they start the final lap. Is his race done here, or has he got the pace to get back into it by the end of the final lap? Perez pulls out of the draft, does not want to threaten Smith at this stage and potentially compromise into his braking into the first turn. O'Fray breaks very deep into fence from Chinchilla, who does not make an attack here. O'Fray once again taking the title line through turn 2 now in defense more than anything else. He's got to mix his strategy between attack and defense. He really wants to be attacking Perez in front of him, but is all the while having to defend from Chinchilla, which is bringing Nagai back in, who will dead set be battling for the podium by the time we hit that final chicane, in his mind at least. Meanwhile, Smith, the surprise packet of this race, is still leading with half lap to go, Corey.
That's right, Alex. He's gained 6 positions from where he started in this race. He is showing that he's definitely a little bit bitter about not being here last week. Look at the line that they got going on right now. Everyone's got a little bit of a gap. Frey shows the nose into the Dunlop hairpin. And these guys are just going to start ramping up this intensity as they start heading into the latter stages of this lap. It is the last lap after all. And these guys are going to start putting it all on the table now, Alex.
Yeah, Frey once again moving to the outside of the braking zone of turn 10. Now shuffles across the inside. 3 wide briefly, 2 by 2 in front and behind for the race lead at this stage. Smith still holding on from Perez. O'Fray showing the nose up the inside of the exit of 11. They are compressed. They are all in draft and they're all going to go for it in this final chicane. Smith still leading it, but absolutely a massive swarm of angry bees behind him. Smith takes a very tight line. Perez holds him tight into the braking zone. O'Fray's got nowhere to go. Perez is going to run around the outside and have the drive. Oh, Smith keeps him tight. Perez will have the inside into the final corner. It's Perez's to lose from here, depending on the drive. Smith around the outside. Oh, he's got better legs in the braking zone to the final corner. Perez has picked up a slowdown. It's going to be Smith. Smith is going to take out his maiden victory, come from nowhere, and Perez has dropped like a stone because he's picked up the slowdown in the final chicane. Corey, did not see that coming.
Oh, definitely not, Alex. What incredible drama. I actually thought Perez made the chicane quite nicely, but I guess he just took that little bit too much curb there and turned 15 at the chicane. And wow, what an incredible battle that was. How hard were they racing there, Alex, and how little contact did they make?
Yeah, let's go check. I want to check that final chicane. I wonder if this is it. Yeah, this is it. So Perez briefly gets the lead, right? Comes into the braking zone very, very hot. He's briefly got his nose in front. Smith opens up the corner as much as he can, leaves at least a car width there, grabs every bit of that apex that he can, opens up to grab the second apex, and Perez, I don't know that he left Perez enough room. There was no way there was a clear call there from the spotter, and he's potentially squeezed Perez there into a slowdown. Let me just go back again. We'll just see if we can't grab Perez's cockpit there and see what that looks like. No, I'm in the wrong one. Perez I want. Oh, yeah, no, that's his cockpit. I just used to see the orange car. Right over on the outside. And you can't quite yet see. There's Smith on the inside. He grabs a big bit of the apex and probably overshoot. Oh, he's probably clear. Look at that. And then, oh, yeah, look, just tough, hard racing there. Very difficult to judge, and absolutely picked up the slowdown there, did young Perez. And an unfortunate way for him to end what was quite an amazing race. And you can see in the background, Kiplich and Kawabe catch these guys in the final corner, Corey, but to no avail. So, yeah, great race throughout tonight, and thank you to the drivers for putting on such a great performance. Let's go check our race results. Our race results say Fraser Smith chased down that front pack of some of the fastest skippy drivers in the world after being out of draft and went on to fight his way through and take out a famous victory. Congratulations to Smith. O'Fray, current series leader, he's finished in P2. Oscar Chinchilla, the Iberian, he's finished in third after running a very patient race. Christian Perez, who picked up that slowdown. Yeah, look, it's tough to call whether he had no space there. It's very hard to judge there, but it did look like he might have been squeezed, but it's 50-50 at best, unfortunately. But he's finished in fifth. Vladimir Kiplich. Oh, did I miss Nagai there in fourth after taking pole? As we've become accustomed to, the Japanese driver finishing in fourth. Vladimir Kiplich did what he could to chase down the leaders and got very close there at the end. He's finished in sixth. Gol Kawabe, the second of the Japanese drivers here tonight, in seventh. Benji Raig, great to see him out there on track. He managed eighth tonight. Corey Lean, what a fight back after being dead stone last at the early stages of lap one. He's finished in ninth. 10th tonight with Giuseppe Tellini for Doctors Wave Italy. Nippy Racing's Kevin Budgeon. I'm going to get it right eventually. The UK driver, he's finished in 11th. Vasco Sorowski, after being parked in the final chicane at the end of lap one, he's managed to get some SNL points there in 12th. 13th tonight, Dimitri Philippides, the Asian club driver with a very distinctly Australian accent. 14th tonight was Yannick Morale in his SNL debut. 15th tonight was Lorenzo Zingaretti Zinger. Mr. Zinger there has finished in 15th. 16th was Hiroshi Ueda, the Japanese driver. Laura Samadio, in the Italian, in 17th. Nick Vaughan Roberts for Two Fools Racing. The unfortunate mid-stages of the race not helping Mr. Roberts. 19th in his debut, the Japanese high school student, Aoi Okada-san, finishing in 19th. Ollie Peacock only managing 20th in his return, and our only retirement then tonight, Corey.
Out of all that action, only one retirement. That is quite incredible, actually, Alex, considering some of the things that we saw in this race. You know, you said it best. These guys put on a fantastic show. Thank you to all the drivers, absolutely, you know, showing up each and every single week and putting on the action that they put on. Because if it weren't for the drivers, if it weren't for the community, we wouldn't be doing this. And these guys definitely showing that they want us to stick around a little bit longer.
Yeah, that's it, mate. Speaking of sticking around a bit longer, we've got some folks here to have a chat. The leading finisher tonight, finishing in second tonight, was one Julian O'Fray. Julian, that looked like a very exciting race, certainly from our perspective, but I imagine it was very exciting in the cockpit as well, mate. Did you enjoy it out there?
Hello. Yes. It was a really fun race. I have to be careful because at the first mistake, this is the sanction with a lot of places lost. So it was very interesting, attacking, defending, a mix of both. Yes. It was a very interesting race.
Yeah, absolutely. There was a lot of changes for the lead. Were you ever concerned? You know, we saw Smith come through. He was off the back, and then he caught the front pack and just moved through to the front. Were you ever concerned at losing with all the battling at any stage there, mate? Were you worried about losing the front pack, or was it all safe?
At the start, I managed to cut the draft with Smith because I know it's a dangerous driver, not dangerous in the way he will crash everyone, but dangerous for he can finish in front, you know. And it worked well, but as soon I overtake during the race, he just come back and join us to the battle. So nice, congratulations to him. it was a great result on a great race for him.
Yeah, absolutely. He drove very well here tonight. We haven't seen Fraser Smith up the front like that to that degree, and he's done a fantastic job. So, but yourself, Julian, continues a great season with another podium. Congratulations. Is there anyone you'd like to say g'day to before we let you go tonight?
Yes, I want to thank all drivers around me during this race because it was very, very clean and proper and a lot of respect on the track. This is a good race because of this. And you for your stream. Yeah.
Yeah, thanks, Julian. Much appreciated, mate. And I agree. The driving out there on the whole was fantastic. And once again, another 5K strength of field, which we're very pleased with, and we appreciate your support along with that of the other drivers. So thank you, Julian, and we look forward to speaking to you in the coming weeks.
Thank you. See you next week. Bye.
Yeah, Corey, Julian O'Fray once again consolidates another great season. Really, we've got 3 rounds to go, and he's got another podium in a 5K strength of field. Not a bad night out.
Definitely not at all, Alex. And, this is great points for the season championship as a whole, the official iRacing championship, which, each and every single week we tend to put on the biggest strength of field. So, if you want to be a part of that action and, try and win yourself a Skippy title for the season, this is where you got to come to. And these guys just continuously come out and, I'm pretty sure we've had so many season champions who have consistently raced with us that, it's been very encouraging to see the growth in the Skippy community as a whole.
Yeah, absolutely. Very pleasing to see the guys and the support that we get from the likes of O'Fray and some of the really top class drivers who come out and have a race with us on a Sunday night. Speaking of which, we will grab Mr. Christian Perez, who joins us, finishing P5 tonight after a very tight run through the final chicane, picking up a slowdown. Didn't have to battle your way through the field this week, Christian. So a different kind of race from you, just being up the front the whole night.
A chill race. just be after Naoya that Naoya it is quite a special case, because I'm just checking his laps on race and he's in a normal pace, but in quali he knows something that anyone knows because he just pull us like 6/10 or 7/10.
Yes.
And in race he was he was fast, of course, but he was not 7/10 fast. So
yes,
I have to look at this and try to find
emulate
whatever he knows.
Yes, exactly. I watched him in the warm-up race, the race before this, for that reason. His cold tyre driving in quali is amazing, and he did a 17.8 in quali in the previous race. Crazy.
I think that he warm ups the tires in some ways because in race you cannot warm up, and his pace was fast, but was normal pace, not like his quali.
Yes, that's right. But it's a skill, and he does very well. So, and great to see the caliber of drivers across the board bringing different skills to the racing each week. So fantastic. But Christian, thank you again for joining us, mate. It was great to see you out there. I was really pleased to see you up the front of the grid this week. Perhaps missed your drive through the field that we've seen a couple of times this season, but great to see you back, mate. Is there anyone you'd like to give a shout out to before we let you go?
No, just congratulate Fraser. It was too long without seeing him, and as always, he's super hard fighting. And well, this time I almost crashed, but next time it will be different.
Absolutely. All right. Great to hear, Christian. Beautiful. All right, mate.
Fraser, different next time.
Beautiful. All right, mate.
I'm joking.
Beautiful. All right, mate. We'll talk to you soon. Great to talk to you, Christian. See you soon.
That's out.
There you go. Had a smile on his face even after getting done out of the win there. Corey was young Christian Perez. Great to see him out there as always.
Yeah, that's right, Alex. And As you said, we usually have become accustomed to him, especially lately, seeing him coming through the field from the back of the pack. It's quite the breath of fresh air seeing him up the front, battling the whole way through. As you can tell, he was absolutely wrapped with that race. He had a lot of fun. Unfortunately, caught that slowdown, of course, in the final chicane, but he had a great race, and he should be very proud of the effort he put in here tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. And he's right. Nagai-san's pace and quality is outstanding, and he's doing something well with those tyres, and he's got the pace. It comes back to the field a bit in the race, but certainly there's a skill and quality as well. So certainly something to be learned for the rest of us there from Nagai-san and how he approaches his racing, which is great. Now, we've got another one here. We've got the ANZ driver one, Mr. Vasco Swarovski, and I've just... At the time, I've picked you up, you've parked it in the middle of the chicane on the first lap, mate. The race was only hopefully going to get better from there.
Hello, boys. A hot tip for you guys. Qualify well.
There's a bit in that, right?
Oh, yes. Moral of the story. Yeah, the story down the back, all that. Ollie was a bit aggressive on that first lap, and then I could see something was going to happen in the chicane. I backed out of it, and we clobbered, and then couldn't get it back, couldn't get it going. Everything's happening, and I'm like, it's not moving. And then any straight line pace, even in the draft, we couldn't hang on. Everyone was just pulling away. So, but we got a couple of spots, made some of a race of it, and it was fun. But so I should have saved the warm-up race for this one. That's what I should have done, but that didn't work out today. But that's how it goes, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, mate, you must have got confidence. Finished fourth in the warm-up race in a 4.3k soft, I think it was. It shows you got the pace to hang with some of these guys. I mean, Afro finished second in this, and you were right up there with him in the warm-up race. So, there's something to be taken from that. And as you say, if you can get the quality right and be up with the front guys, you're in with a chance. So that's very encouraging, mate, and hopefully you take something from that.
No, thanks, Alex. We stuff quality big time, and from the back, mate, I haven't got a name like Perez or something like that, so it's very difficult from the back. But we'll get there next time. And again, thank you for everything you guys do and all that. So keep up the good work. And yes,
beautiful.
Definitely.
All right, mate. Well, thank you very much for joining us, Vasco. It's great as always to talk to you, mate, and we look forward to speaking to you in the remainder of the season.
Done. Next one, boys. Thank
Beautiful.
you.
Thanks, mate.
Set.
All right, that's Vasco Swarovski, Corey. Great to see one of the great Australian drivers coming up. He's done his time in the second split. He's starting to find his way in the top split, mate, and looking for big things to come from Mr. Swarovski.
Oh, definitely, Alex. Him and his army of spotters come in each and every single week. And, it's great to see them come all in. And I have no idea how he races with having so many voices in his head. I can barely do it with one person talking to me. So, he definitely puts in a Herculean effort just to keep the concentration going each and every single week. It's great to see him, getting some good results here and there a little bit. He didn't gain much I rating today, but, he's still got a gain, which, at the end of the day, for some people, is a really big plus.
Yeah, 100%, mate, and great to see him out there nonetheless. And like Vasco, we do appreciate the support of all the drivers. As we said at the start of the race, we have the strongest strength of field ever in Skip Barber Racing, which is outstanding, and we can only do that on the back of the support of the community that we get. So thank you to everyone for joining us. That's been fantastic. Corey, speaking of which, the folks that are joining us, tell them at home what you got coming up this week.
On Wednesday, over on the Aussie Sim Commentator channel, twitch.tv/Aussie_Sim_commentator, we'll be going to the Homestead Miami Speedway for the Autism Awareness 150, which should be an excellent race. We're only 3 races away from the start of the chase for the championship in the Output Racing League, which is pretty exciting stuff. During the week on my normal channel, it's currently collecting dust. I've been promising to do some streaming, and I've been just completely forgetting, or things have come up. There's actually been quite a few things that came up last week, unfortunately. So hopefully I'll be able to get in at least one stream this week. And also on Friday and Saturday nights, I'll be down at the Perth Motorplex Speedway doing some filming and taking some photos. So keep an eye out for those on the Speedway Memes Facebook page and also the Speedway Memes YouTube channel, Speedway Memes Media. And then all back here again with you next week, Alex, when we go to the Red Bull Ring and have fun around the Grand Prix track.
Yeah, mate, looking forward to that one. For me, folks, check us out on the Locked On iRacing podcast, where we do the news and views and results on a Wednesday. It comes out on a Thursday these days. Check it out, where we do a full Sunday Night Lights wrap of this race and where we're at in the standings. But otherwise, folks, check us. All things Top Splitter on your screen at the moment. The Discord is where you'll find the community, the results, and all that sort of stuff. Got any questions you want to interact with Corey, myself, and the team? That's where you'll find us. This race replay will be on the Top Split YouTube channel, along with all the other race replays from 25 seasons of Sunday and Monday Night Lights. And of course, each and every Sunday, Corey and I are here on Top Split TV on Twitch, 9:15 p.m. Australian Eastern Daylight Savings Time for what is officially the biggest game in Skippytown. So, folks, thank you for joining us once again. And on behalf of Corey, I'm Alex McKellar saying ciao for now.